Hey guys, the Pochard here. Now, a lot of people may have told you that drawing is hard. You may have gotten this impression from books, movies, or whatever sort, museums or whatever sources. I'm here to tell you that they're absolutely right. Drawing is very difficult, and like unless you have the talent, just don't bother. You either have the God-given gift or you don't. It's not my fault. It's just how things are. I'm just joking around. Drawing is a skill that can be learned and taught by anyone. Okay, so today I want to just very simply demonstrate a outline of a profile of a lady, and it can be done very quickly because it's just a simple outline. We're not doing anything complicated like shading or anything. And I want you to follow me. Just grab a piece of printing paper and a pencil. That's all you need, and maybe an eraser, and just follow along. Okay, I'm trying to break this down into steps. And I'm trying to instead of looking at the paper that I'm drawing on, I'm trying to look at the screen. It makes it more interesting. Okay, first we want to draw kind of a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I'll naturally make something like that. Just a circle. And you want to make it light. Nothing too heavy. Because this is just the outline. We kind of want just marking where everything is, right? Okay, once you're done with this circle, I want you to draw a line that cuts it straight in the middle, 50%. Again, very light. Everything we do here is very light. If you cannot even see it on the screen, I think you can. If you can, I'll use a little bit more pressure. Now, I want you to draw in the middle of the circle. You can use the middle of the circle, but you can also just move a little bit to the right, right? Maybe just a little bit to the right. Just draw a line there. That's like a cross. That's alright. Okay, now using this circle, we can see that. Go back to our initial beginning. This is the center of the circle, right? We can divide this circle into 4 sections. Okay? I want you to look at this part here and maybe move a little bit to the left. To the left. Did I just set it right on this one? This one is to the right. This one is a little bit to the left. Okay? Doesn't matter how much. The reason I didn't give you specific instruction on exactly how much is because everybody's different. So your drawing will end up to be, somebody that's special. That's special somebody. Okay. Here, let me think. What's the best way to explain this? I want you to draw like this. Just a line like that. The line does not reach the circle, but maybe 70%, 50%, 60%, something like that. And then I want you to draw another line like this. I'm waiting because I know this is difficult stuff, so it's gonna take a long time. So I'm just take your time while I'm just staring at the camera, and I'll blink. And when I blink, I'll go back to the drawing. Alright, the next step after you did this is to go up. Go up just a little bit. You can go up not too much, maybe here. I would say around here. You can go up a little higher, a little lower. It doesn't matter. And just do like a little wiggle line like this. And then curve it back. I want you to curve it back to roughly where this point is. So it's almost like, if you look at top corner, it's almost like something like this, right? It's almost like, you almost want to do something like that, but like this. Okay, that's done. Now, this part is where you place that first line is kind of, where you start is kind of important. Come to the edge of the circle, very edge, and roughly at middle, maybe a little bit higher, maybe like close to where this height is, maybe a little bit lower, about here, about middle. I like how I said it like a whole bunch of things, but it ends up to be like about middle. I want you to draw maybe a little curve and then a line that goes straight down. How far? How far? God, I gotta try to think of this in a way that's easier for. If you separate from middle of the circle to the bottom into 3 sections, like this, I want you to draw from here to this line. That's how far, okay? So you will be something like this. And the curvature, if the way, if you draw a straight line or if it's curved that way or this way, determines the shape of the nose. So there's no wrong way about it. Although you could draw somebody who is very pretty or somebody who is very unique, right? So you want to draw, you want to have this line here, but I don't want you to draw straight down to this line. That'd be going a little bit too far, okay? I want you to draw when it almost reached that line to turn back. $90 degrees, almost like 90 degrees, almost like that. Okay. Next step, somewhere around here, back here, not too far, not too close. You'll get it. Roughly around the edge of the circle. Draw a curve like this. And then something like that. Okay. As you can see now, obviously now we're drawing a nose. And most of you, obviously should be able to tell. Okay, now I want you to go from use lower pressure again. The same low pressure you use for the circle. Very low pressure, okay? We're doing some guidelines here. I want you to go from here to here. I want you to draw just a very light line that's slightly curved inward. Or straight. If it's straight down, it's okay too. There's no, it's like Bob Ross, right? There's no right or wrong. It's just, happy little accidents. Something like that. And I want you to then from here to do another little curve that connects that point to this point, which is the bottom of that circle. Alright. And if you're really good, you keep going and connect to that line, this line here. That's more accurate anatomically, but I just want to give you guys an idea. Okay, now let's continue. Now we can switch back to use a little bit more pressure. Okay, from here, you see this straight line here. Okay, I'm looking at the screen, make sure. And also the tip of the nose, you can make a little bit rounder, a little bit sharper. That's everybody's different, right? So from here, you want to draw a line from this line here. You want to draw a line that's roughly 90 degrees from this line, but just a little bit, right? And then curve it back like a circle. Just make a curve. So in larger view, you look like something like this. Right? But just that smaller. Okay. And then from here, I want you to draw another line, kind of like this one. About same length, very similar length. Okay. And the next one is I want you to draw a line inward, roughly 90 degrees or a little bit, larger than 90 degrees. So maybe something like that. Not too long. Similar length as this one. And then I want you to curve back. There's a lot of curving going on. And then I want you to come down. And then kind of almost like we're drawing the guideline. And you see I went over a little bit because my initial guideline is a little bit too short, I feel like. Or I should have made one of the lines here a little bit shorter. So, but experiment and you'll find out what the ideal length is. But either way, it's gonna look like a person. You're gonna find out it's gonna look like a person, and you can construct different characters based on different proportions. All right, next step is a little bit tricky, but it's totally doable. Okay. That's the way I want to think about. I want to do this in a way that's easier to do. Okay. From here, where these two lines meet, I want you to just draw a line that like that, and then come down and goes towards inside. So it's almost like this. Right? It's kind of like not complete straight. You kind of come down at it, right? And then it goes a little. It kind of comes down and it goes down a little further, but then it goes straight. This is exaggerated, but that's the idea. You want it to be a little weird in its angles and the way it changes angles as it goes along. And once you get that down, the length of that should be roughly. It should not be too long. Okay, you don't go anywhere near. Like you should not go near past the eye. Definitely, that's not what you want to do. Okay. And at the beginning, I said I wanted to show you guys how to draw a male. This might turn out to be a female, or female. This might turn out to be a male, but that all depends on ratio, like how long, how big each part is. So I might accidentally draw something that's not what I intended at first. So I'm looking at the screen right now, and I want you to draw like a line like this. So again, on the left side, on the big one, it's like It's really just a little curve in the beginning and then a straight line. And then at the bottom, I want you to draw a line that's from this point here, this angular point here, to the end of the lips, and just do a little curve, very light little curve. Okay, now that you have done that, let's go. We can go bottom. We can look at upward, but now we can go upward, and I want you to draw a line that's this angle. So like roughly like that, but not too long. Roughly where the eyebrow is. Okay. And if you want to be really precise about this, technically, I would move the eye back, and I would move this line here. I would move back a bit, so it'd be like more like that. But it's all right. I want to give you guys just the idea of what's going on from constructing a light line to put some pressure to draw. Because normally you would draw the light line and you would do all these also in very light lines, and you will only use pressure on the lines that looks correct. So I'm kind of skipping a bunch of steps today. So from here on, you should be able to just go along with the circle, almost like go along with the circle. For just a little bit, just here. Maybe where the eyebrow ends, just there. And from here is where you can do the hair. Hair, you can just do it the way that I do. You can draw a line there, draw a line here, a line here. Again, we're now drawing up beyond the circle, okay? Because the hair is beyond the skull, right? The circle is kind of representing the skull. So draw a line here, draw a line here, so on. Okay. Before we continue further, we still have that circle we can see. We still have all the little lines and little dots that we can see. I just want to add a little bit more definition to the eyes. And one way you can easily do that is, first you want to just add a little line here. Okay. And think about what's the best way. A little line there, and then you see this triangle here. Add just another line right below it, but not too far, and connect back to the end. And just color this part black. And you can actually do some, eyelash if you want to. Okay. And over here you can do something like this. Again, if you do something like this, there's no wrong way you can do it. If you just like this. And from here, I want you to, it curves downward. Again, if you want to, you can add a few little lines, short lines like this, that represents, the bottom part of the eyelash. And you can draw some light lines to represent that. And here, roughly, where this line is, I want to draw a curve. That's where the eyeball is. So imagine like you're drawing a ball, but only like a part of it. So make sure that's a curve. And if you want, you can do some iris. You can do some. You can shade a little bit. You can. That's up to you. You don't have to, because we're doing outlines today. We're just doing outlines today. And if you want to make the eyebrow a little heavier, see, now you get to play. Now you start to, you already have the kind of eyes there. You get to play. Now, like, let's say I want the eyebrow to be a little bit heavier, or maybe a little bit longer. I can do that. Okay. And from the bottom here, I want you to do a curve that connects to that part. This is the center of the circle. This is slightly to the right. I just want you to just draw a curve like this that connects to the stuff roughly there. And from here, I want you to draw another curve, almost like a Y. So these two curves is almost like this and then this, right? I want you to draw another curve from here downward. And there's neck, there's Adam apple. You can, but don't worry about that right for now. And you can see in this drawing, my proportion is already a little bit off because I made the eye a little bit too high. But it starts to look like, it still looks like a person, but the eye is too high. So I normally, if I was to draw this with a much lighter pencil, it would not have this problem because I would recognize this. I would fix this. I would change the the lines here, the line there, and until everything looks good, and then I will apply pressure. But it's good that I did something that is not perfect, right? That has problems, because chances are, if this is the first time you are doing it, you're gonna draw something that looks really funky as well. So, and there are some people in the world that have proportions like that. So just there's nothing wrong with that. And here is hair, and the hair generally comes down from sideways. You'll see. I'm not going to explain exactly what the shape of the hair is, but it's kind of like, kind of like that. Okay. The nose here, I made it too long. So if something looks really a little bit strange, or then you want to know why. So next time you can fix it, right? It just okay. But I'm just gonna continue finish this drawing, even though it looks kind of weird, so you guys know the process. From here, I want you to continue on until you reach this line here. Remember this line, from the middle of the circle. From the middle of the circle, which is here, we divided the last part of the circle into like thirds. Okay. At this point, I want you to stop. This is where the ear is gonna start. And the ear is gonna look something like this. I almost want to just like shut up and just draw, but okay. This part here, you should see a part that divides like that, right? Draw ear like how would I make this? Okay, the middle part here, do it like that. And then comes down. And goes up. and then it goes up like this until it's almost pretty much the center of, just across the center of the circle line, and then curve back. It curves back, comes down like this, and then it curves back down like that. That's all. If your shape looks a little bit different, that's fine. Everybody's ear looks different. Wow, her eye really needs to. I should. If this is digital, I would fix. You know what? I could do this on digital page. I can fix it, but I want to show you guys first time on the, on paper. And I want you to draw from here to add detail to the ear now. To add detail, it's just easier because you don't have to worry about anything else. You just have to look at the part, that particular part. I want you to draw like something that looks like that. And from here, something like that. Maybe add a little, make this part a little bit more curvier. Here, add a little shape, just like that, and so on. See, now you actually join the structure of the ear. And this person might have a yellow, so depending on the shape of the yellow, maybe it's round, maybe it's not. You would do it accordingly, join it accordingly. Okay, and the hair will continue down. Remember this part here, this lodge, this outside part is it's almost like straight line part. This would be like the hair of the person, and here at around middle of the circle is where you would turn the angle around. And here you can there's all different kind of shape of the hair. This particular style, I'm just gonna do a simple style. Maybe like that. Right? And from the middle of the circle to the edge of the circle, which is here. We're looking at the circle, not the hair, okay? From the middle of the circle to the edge of the circle. If you cut that into thirds, that last third, that's roughly where the neck would begin. And you would not be at this angle, actually. You will actually be like that. And this neck will be maybe a little bit longer. When you see my drawing art videos and so on, I generally have some kind of guideline that's either in my head, or I draw it on there, or I much more carefully, slowly using one part of the eye to draw other part of the eye. Like I would not draw the nose this long, because by the time I draw the nose, I already realized it's too long. I would then, the eyes should be lower, and I would already made that adjustment already. Okay, now that this person is pretty much constructed, now we can start to add some, some shade. If you want to. Now you can play around with shadows and shading. Pencil works just as well, but we're not going for realism here. But you can see that this part here will be maybe she has some makeup on here. The nose, tip of the nose, you can make a little bit rounder, so it looks more realistic. Especially here, there might be like shadow under the nose. right? There might be some little lines you can put here, there, just to make it look, just add a little bit more detail that describe the form a bit more. And the hair, you can smooth over all the rough parts. You know, you can color it in with whatever you want. You can change the sides. You can make this ponytail if you want to. I don't want you to give the impression that the necks are getting skinnier. Eventually the neck is gonna come down, it's gonna separate, okay, it's gonna, but we're not going that far today. Today we're just focusing on the head. So yeah, this is how you can construct a head. This I'm trying to do it using a guideline based on like this circle thing, so that it's easier for you guys to follow. And there's a few parts. I think the ratio I would probably next time I'll probably move around a little bit, so it's more accurate. Or the person will be more accurate. The person will be younger or older. See, now if I move just the nose a little bit inward, suddenly it feels a little bit different, right? It feels a little bit more feminine. There's different kind of plans on the face, but you don't have to know anything about that right now. But you see how you just drew like a profile of a person. I think I'm now gonna focus and just do another one, exact same one, same method, but I'm just gonna do it just looking at the paper, and just do another one and have the proportion be what I want it to be. So I'm basically gonna draw what I just did with you guys, but maybe with a little bit a little faster, maybe with a little bit more nuance and shading here and there, but mostly focus on just using outlines and same profile, same girl, same profile. So I would probably begin with I use a circle. I could use a circle, but the purpose of a circle is to kind of you kind of want to establish like this. Then you can establish where the eye is, where the nose would be, where where the lips would be, and so on. So and then from the circle you can establish where the ear is, and neck, and where the eye is. So that's the purpose of the circle. I can skip a lot of that because I'm just gonna do like something simple. Right about here. And bottom of the nose right about here, and the bottom of the face right about here. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit, going at, well, not a little bit fast, but at my speed. That looks about right. Nose probably like from here to here. I like without guidelines, I feel like more comfortable to really quickly place everything, because I can just see it. It's almost like if you tie a shoe, right? If somebody's giving you specific instructions, you're gonna be slower than if that somebody just said tie a shoe. So what I did before was kind of like think of an instruction to give. But early on, obviously, every needs something like that. So. I might do a little bit more shading just for fun here and there. And the ear comes down like that. I know ear is going to be there because it's in the middle, and I know it's not going to be too far away. I know roughly it's not going to be here, 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 here. I know it's going to be here. Don't ask me how I know. It's cause you know the chain's gonna go up there, here, right? And that's where the ear starts. So yeah, it's not random. And I might want to, since I'm using this kind of pencil, woodless pencil, I can probably do some cool stuff. Because based on the way I tilt, it changes from a thin line to a shade to a lot of different things, right? And before, remember that triangle of eye? Mine is just different at a different angle. One is straight, another one is down. You can make one is higher, one. So you can play around with, you know, the angle of this, which way this pointy triangle is pointed at, and that would give you a different effect. And I would shade a little bit down there to show the eyeballs, and probably light here, here, a little bit of skin fold, and down here, probably a little bit of shading down here, a little bit of shading down here, and the hair, similar deal. You'll see that it's very similar to what I did before. But I don't want to draw too much. I don't want to spend too much time on this. You guys get the idea, I think. At this point, this drawing is much more like what I was hoping to accomplish with the other one, proportionally. But this part is dark. And you know, the hair would have different lines there. I'm running out of space on the paper here, so but you guys got the idea. See, done. You know, there'll be a little bit of hair here, straight hair here. Maybe a hair goes across the ear. It's a good way to hide it, right? If you don't know, if you forgot the structure of the ear in there. For a while there, I do that a lot. And see, this is much more normal looking, proportionally girl. But, you know, and I did it faster, but it's very similar to what we just did. Very similar. Maybe she has one of those tattoos. Wait, what's those tattoos are like? You know, I see those tattoos that it's quite fashionable sometimes. A lot of young girls like to get. Maybe she has a little tattoo on her face. That's up to you. It's you know, it's art. It's creative, right? You gotta have fun with it. That. And to make them more realistic, it's actually the easier step from a blank piece of paper to, from a blank piece of paper to this, it's the hard part. To make this into something that looks like what's behind me, like that one, is the easy part. I keep looking at the screen when I'm talking. It's the easier part. Although it's more time consuming, yes. But is it more difficult? No. It's more time consuming. You have to know the right methods and so on. But anybody can do it. But you see, I just drew something like this. Maybe I'll do something like this with you guys like every day. Just something simple that you can just look at and follow along. This, because I kind of threw you guys into deep waters. I started out with like a portrait, right? That's like one of the most difficult things. I probably should. The lips here, I would erase part of it. Probably be like that. Yeah. Anyway. I started out with something that's like extremely difficult, which is portrait. But if you can do this, if you can follow all this and have it looks, if anywhere even close to what I was drawing, then you can draw anything. Anything. Trust me. Cause that's the equivalent of me saying like, if you can ride a bike from this distance to here to, from like 100 yards from like here to there, if you can do that, trust me, you'll be able to ride your bike from your home to school like a mile away. Same reasoning. So if you can do that, you can draw a lot of other stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular video. And subscribe for more, because I'm gonna just do, I think this kind of video would help a lot more people draw along. It doesn't have to be complicated like a portrait. It could be something like an animal, a cat, or a still life plant, some kind of flower, and so on. A rose, like how would you do the lines to make it look like a rose? Very simple. If you follow like how at the beginning I said do a circle and do this and do that, it's going to show up. I can show you guys how to do that. And if you like this video, just tell me that, and tell me that you want to see more of it, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Cheers.